Hopes and expectations for Madam Web were not high to begin with, considering the first three live-action Sony, Spider-Man, Marvel spin-off films, whatever the hell you want to call them, plus the trailers and the marketing, the late review embargo, all that stuff. But still, I was watching this film constantly baffled by the completely inept way that this film was made and put together. It really just fails as a film on pretty much every single level. The pacing is so sloppy. The opening flashback scene with Madam Web's mum in the Amazon rainforest completely rushed through, as is the origin of Madam Web getting her clairvoyant powers, where she falls in the water, she gets the visions, she starts getting more visions. All of that completely breezes right by it. But then later on, there's these random parts of the film where a character will park up a car, get out the car, walk over to a building and say like open a door or bring down a ladder or something. And it insists on showing each individual step of this character, again, parking the car, getting out of the car, walking all the way over to the building and then doing whatever. And it's the editing or lack of editing choices in these little parts of the film that just unnecessarily drag the pacing out in the most weird portions of the film. It sounds nitpicky, I know it does, but if you seriously just trimmed down some of these parts of characters going from one place to another, you could have tightened up the pacing and given the film a much better flow. Writing wise, and I cannot believe I'm saying this again about another big budget franchise IP type film, but it feels like it was written by an AI. The dialogue ranges from awkward to extremely cliche. It's awkward when they're trying to make it feel natural between the characters given the circumstances of the scene, but it's just the choice of words that they put in the characters' mouths just doesn't really feel right. It feels like a robot trying to sound like a human being. And the cliche dialogue is there throughout the whole thing pretty much, but especially prevalent in the third act when things start being said, especially between Cassandra and the three girls. You're just like, please stop, please stop, please stop. Ow. And the villain, what's his name? Ezekiel, super generic. I'm pretty sure in almost every scene he's in, he says something to the extent of, I have to kill these girls, otherwise they'll destroy everything that I've built. Everything about his character, the writing, the dialogue, his motivations, actions, is all just super cliche and super robotic. If the Venom films and Morbius didn't already, Madam Web completely confirms to me that Sony just does not give a shit about these films. If they truly cared about the quality of these films, then why did they bring the Morbius writers back to write the screenplay for Madam Web? They're clearly so desperate for that shared universe money, but they have no interest in putting in the effort to get people on board with that shared universe by making good films. It's completely ass backwards. And Madam Web feels like a placeholder stepping stone film 101, case in point, the three Spider-Girls or future Spider-Girls that Madam Web is protecting in the film. They don't become Spider-Women in this film. Spoiler alert. They don't get the powers, they don't get their suits or any of that shit. That's all visions in Madam Web's mind. Yet because they're going to become Spider-Women in future films that Sony might not even make, that for some reason means we have to care about them now when they're just three teenagers that Madam Web is trying to protect. But it doesn't work like that. If their intention with these three characters was to get us on board and care about a future Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman thing with these three characters, they did an atrocious job of setting that up, because I did not give a rat's ass about either of these three girls. They were just bland and uninteresting and sometimes kind of annoying. So great job on that one, Sony.